Welcome back inside, first graders. Now, let's learn a little bit more about how the thermometer works. On the top of a thermometer, you're going to see the Fahrenheit side, and you're probably going to see the Celsius side. It's really important to pay attention to which side you're on because they're measuring the same thing, which is temperature, but they are different numbers depending on which unit you're using. If you're using Fahrenheit like we do in the United States, well, it's going to be a different number than if you're elsewhere in the world and you're using Celsius, or if you're in science and you're needing to know Celsius. I like to learn them both, and the main reason why is because if you do anything in science, we're going to use Celsius a lot. And it just makes a little bit more sense. It's kind of like centimeters and meters compared to inches and feet. It just is easier to use, and that's why scientists use it. There's just less room for confusion when it's a little bit more simple. Okay. All right. So here on the Fahrenheit side, some thermometers go pretty hot, like 230 degrees. If you see that little red part on your thermometer is going to be super high. It's going to be way up high there. If you're looking at fire like a campfire, I'm guessing that is around 2000 degrees Fahrenheit ish. If you're down in that flame, which none of us ever want to be, so don't go there. Don't put your toys in either because they will melt and make a terrible smoke for the environment. All right, so let's go down a little bit in temperature. Here's where water boils. Water boils right around 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And the way I'm reading this, kiddos, is I see the 210 mark. I go across the little line there, and I can actually see that there's 211, 212. Okay, that is one of the best ways to figure out how hot or cold something is. And in Celsius, it would be approximately 100 degrees Celsius, which is super hot. Okay, so that's water boiling. If we go down to where our normal body temperature is, that's about 98.6 degrees. So if we go down here, you're going to see it. We have 90. And then there's another little hash mark around 95. And then there's more hash marks in between. So 95, 96, 97, 98. And it's a little bit past 98. That's how the doctor and moms and dads know if you're sick. When you get sick, your body raises its temperature above 98.6 to like 100 or 101 or 102 or 103. And you get super sick. So what your body's doing is it's raising the temperature to burn off any little bugs or viruses or bacteria you have. Okay, temperature is a very important thing to pay attention to if you're not feeling well. All right. Now, also, if you are at 100 degrees or more outside and it's that hot, you're going to feel pretty hot. You're going to need a pool or something to play in. Okay, so let's go down farther. Here's room temperature. Most people keep theirs around 74 degrees, and I'm noticing it's 74 because when I go ahead and I zoom in here, I'm going to look a little bit at the screen. I'm going to look a little bit here at the picture. You can see that the 70 mark is still being filled up with the temperature sensor, okay? So the sensor is going 71, 72, 73, 74, maybe between 74 and 75. For Mr. Penny, that's pretty hot. I like to keep my room around 70 degrees, no more, or 68, even down farther. Okay. When I sleep, we crank that puppy way down. We're like little polar bears in a cave. We around 60 degrees. Now, freezing, if I go even further down, if you're like before I even move on, if you're in the like 60s, all of this space here, 60 and up to 70, that's like beautiful weather. That's go out and ride your bike, play, maybe pants, maybe just shorts. It's delightful. Not hot, not cold. 50 is a little bit nippy, okay? As is 40. 40 is more like, yep, you need hats and gloves. And then if you go down below 40 like it is today, or it was earlier actually, it's probably more like in the 40s, and you get down to 32, that's actually where water freezes. And in fact, the reason why Celsius is so much easier to understand, here's Fahrenheit at 32 degrees. So if we go and we find it like this, 30, gosh, let's see, 30, 31, 32, that's when water freezes on Fahrenheit. But if you just go across the other side of the thermometer, it freezes at 0 degrees, which is why Celsius makes so much sense. They put water's freezing point at 0, and most people really understand that. And I believe water's boiling point is at 100 on Celsius. It's just easier to think of than try to remember 32 degrees freezing for Fahrenheit. Okay? All right, now going down even further, boy, you get down in, below 0 on Fahrenheit, it starts to get really cold. Like if you go all the way down to like negative 30 or 40, I believe you can take a liquid and throw it out of a cup and it will freeze in the mid-air, which is really cool to think about. All right. Go to the next slides, and I want you thinking just a little bit about what we talked about here and what you saw in the movie. All right? All right, let's have some fun.